What up, y'all? It's your boy Kaizen, and we're going to be doing an Unshackled challenge guide for both Zermio and Sarposa. So we're going to start with some basics when it comes to Unshackled challenge. The first is using up the souls. You can put in as many souls as you want to increase the amount of Doom Oracles that you're going to be receiving after clearing the dungeon. Another thing to look out for the Unshackled challenge is the token count and the timer. Since this is an advanced dungeon, you have an unlimited amount of consumable uses. They do still have the cooldowns applied to them, so if you manage to get yourself in a pinch, feel free to use them. Okay, let's get to Zermio. Zermio has 3 special attacks, but most if not all of his normal attacks can be pretty gimmicky too, so let's go through them. This cracked purple area can be dodged by hopping over it. You can also jump to a safe area when necessary. Zermio's attacks come in a few colors. You got your standard red damage zones. You also have purple. And you also have these purple slashes. You also have some creatures that do damage as well. You got these puddles, of course, stepping on them will slow and damage you. You got his sword, just like in Moon Submerged Lake. You want to stand on these swords just before the outer circle meets with the inner circle. The safe zone is inside the circle, and if you're ever outside before the outer meets with the inner, Zermio will just slash around it. You got cracks, you just jump over them, dodge the red patterns. Now this is a room-wide slash, courtesy of Largo level 4. The safe zone for this kind of slash is right in the middle of the slash. You don't want to be outside where the mist is protruding out. You want to be in the middle of it. So here comes one of his first special attacks. His special attacks are in coordination with the other Moon Submerged Lake bosses, minus Cameron and the final boss there. I already forgot his name. But once we take care of 3 gimmicks worth, or once we clear 3 special attacks, Veslo will come to support us and give us a bit of groggy. We'll see that in a moment. For the first gimmick, the first special attack is with the Cheshire cat. Struggle with everything you've got. There's going to be 3 zombies in the field. Zermio is at the center, and there is a pink circle surrounding him with a bunch of rats moving towards you. If you remember from the Moon Submerged Lake, this pink reticle on your character can be avoided if you go outside of the pink circle. But notice how the pink reticle is attached to the red damage zone. Also notice that when a zombie is in the red damage zone, the zombie starts flickering. So our goal here is we want to align the red damage zone with the zombies, and then make our way out of the purple circle to leave the damage zone, to keep the damage zone from following us. You can also use the rats to hop over and exit the circle that way. Colliding with the rats will give us a lot of damage, so you can just jump over them Mario style. Like so. Be careful when you, if you do die, be careful when you spawn outside of the circle, because the red damage zone will immediately stick to place and you may not get a chance to leave it on the zombies. After you've successfully cleared of the zombies, Zermio is going to perform a blade attack. He has a trajectory from here to here. However, Cheshire Cat is targeting you. So Zermio is going to follow his trajectory and end up here. Your goal is to redirect this reticle, this target on you, onto where Zermio is going to land to clear the gimmick and leave Zermio groggied. Just like that. And since we cleared the gimmick, we were able to get 1 out of 3 for Veslo support, and we were able to increase Zermio's damage received. So now we're gonna go through some more normal attacks. Again, if it's the saber, make sure you're inside so you don't get slashed. But it comes with the cracked area, so if you don't manage to come out there on time, you can always jump to avoid it. Back to the other saber and jump over this one. More purple slashes with cracks. Generally, you just want to avoid it. Purple crack means you jump. These plant monsters will explode and leave a poisonous area. Since the inner circle is the safe zone, if Zermio happens to be dead center, you want to lead the zombie plants and the monster plants to detonate where the damage zone is, so you can keep the safe zone safe. Okay, we managed to break his neutralized gauge. Do as much damage as you can. Keep in mind that you are under timer. It's 10 minutes regardless of how big your threshold value is. And if you manage to lose in the process, you won't be able to receive your souls back. So keep that in mind. Our second special attack is in Zermio is in unison with the frog thing. So again, big slash, you want to stay in the middle. I think it's murky. There's going to be a saber. You want to prioritize that slash by staying inside and then sidestepping the red damage zone. Cracked area means you want to jump over it, and there's going to be a white reticle target on Zermio. Again, if you remember in Moon Submerged Lake, white target on Zermio means basic attack, so you avoid the blade frenzy and then run away from the red zone. I will consume. Murky is going to gun for you this time, so you want to lead him and charge after Zermio while dodging everything else that's going on in the screen. You have a white pulsating target on you, which means again Murky is going after you. Meanwhile, Zermio has the red target, signaling that you should guide Murky to run towards Zermio. If you remember, one of Murky's gimmicks is the pillar run. You're gonna guide Murky to the pillar a few times before he gets to Groggy. This is the same deal. Instead of pillar, it's Zermio. And you want to do this before Zermio lands his blade attack, of course. After Murky collides with Zermio, there's going to be an AoE attack. Just want to dodge it. Murky attacks Zermio, and then you do your little fancy dance. And then it's back to normal attack patterns again. Since we cleared that Murky gimmick, Veslo support is now 2 out of 3. Again, we just want to keep doing this until Zermio is finished. We have one more gimmick to go, and thankfully it happens to be the last one. Here's another normal attack pattern. There's going to be a stampede. 2 of them is going to die, I think. And then you kind of just want to avoid it or jump over them. Another Blade Frenzy. If you manage to basic attack them during Blade Frenzy as a normal attack pattern, you'll get a very small window. And here comes the third pattern, third special attack. It's with Gorilla Grodd. Every time there's a bar here that says Quaker, you want to jump just before, you want to be in midair just before the bar fills up, because it's going to cover the whole room. Discharge means Zermio is planning to create an outward. Zermio is getting ready to make an outward attack, but pay attention to the gorilla here. He has a laser aimed straight at you, but you don't want to stand in the safe zone right away. You want to guide this laser beam and let it finish firing before you stand on the safe zone. You have plenty of time before Zermio lands this attack. As soon as the discharge is finished, stand in the safe zone, and you're clear to go. More slashes, more attacks. Again, you want to dodge the purple slashes, and to avoid the purple crack area, you want to jump over it before it detonates. Avoid the circle. Go inside the safe zone. Jump again to avoid the Quaker. And then a blade attack from Zermio is going to collide with the gorilla. At this moment, once you see the white target, break it, because as soon as you break it apart, you're going to complete your last Groggy, and you're going to see a really cool cutscene. Well, not really, but basically if you fail to do that, they're going to fight and then you take damage. So in order to complete the gimmick, you want to break that Blade Frenzy. Since we completed the gimmick, we are now 3 out of 3 with Veslo support. Here he is. And then we get ourselves a substantial amount of time to DPS him with a higher damage percentage. And that's pretty much it for Zermio. In my opinion, these normal attack patterns are gonna be helpful when learning his gimmicks. It is also helpful if you have run Moon Submerged Lake and you are familiar with some of the boss's gimmicks there, because it will help you get familiarized with what's about to happen. Like for example with the gorilla, he has the discharge and you kind of just let that happen before you get to the safe zone. With Murky, you want him to collide the Zermio, and with Cheshire Cat, you want to jump over the rats. And also, it's going to mix in some of Zermio's attack patterns as well from Moon Submerged Lake, like the white targets and the pink targets. Again, it really helps a lot familiarizing yourself with bosses from Moon Submerged Lake. It won't help you tremendously, but it will give you a sense of how the gimmicks are being performed.